What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. My name is Cory, and today is going to be your daily stock market technical analysis update. We saw a very volatile day in the stock market today, with all three indices closing lower today. Is the selling going to continue, or is this just some short-term pain before some long-term gain? First up, we'll take a look at the S&P500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart and see what's going on in the stock market today. Alright, so on the SPY ETF, we do see the price action going down negative 1.36% today. And we closed very close to that gap that we had opened up, which was right around a SPY level of 369. So we're really close to that support level at that gap close, and of course that 20 simple moving average, which is right about where that gap was. Now, we did have a very volatile day, and at one point SPY was trading all the way down below 365. But the good news is we did bounce from those lows, and we did close near a very strong support level. So when we're near a strong support level, we have to say that the price action is still relatively bullish, because we could still bounce off of this level and continue to go higher. We can also see we still have the benefit of a bullish trend, because the 5 EMA is still above all of the other moving averages, and all of these moving averages are still stacked to the bullish side. We still have positive sloping 20 simple moving average and a 50 EMA, and one day of selling does not set a trend. So the most important thing to watch is going to be whether or not this selling continues. Typically, selling lasts for about 2 or 3 days unless we're going into a larger correction. I have no reason to believe that we're going into a larger correction just yet, and more than likely this could have just been one day of selling, because it is the first trading day of 2021. There's a lot of people moving positions around and a lot of people deciding what stocks they want to sell and buy to hold into this year. So right now on the SPY ETF, I see no reason to lower our price target, which is still up here at $377. If we do see some more selling going into tomorrow, we will have to look at possible support levels below. So another support level to watch is going to be this level at $364.75, which was all of these previous lows where the market continued to bounce from. We can see we also had a low of the day go into that support level, and we did bounce from there. Another support level is of course going to be the 50 EMA, which is down here at $360. And we also have this previous gap close, which is right around 362. So there's still quite a bit of support, and as long as we're above the 50 EMA, we are likely to continue to head higher. There's no way you can say in a bull market there's going to be no selling. So days like this are completely normal, and they're to be expected that we're going to see some volatility and we're going to see some selling along the way. If we do start breaking below the 50 EMA, I have no doubts that we're going to close this gap right around 358. So there's still quite a bit of support below us, and we could go as low as closing that gap at 358 and still have a higher low in the grand scheme of this larger bull run. So the number one thing to watch going into tomorrow is whether or not we continue lower or we start bouncing off of this support level at 369. This is going to be a very critical support level that we need to watch going into these next couple of days. So right now I'm going to give benefit of the doubt to the bounce due to the fact that we still have a bullish trend. If this 5 EMA starts crossing below the 13 EMA, that means the short-term bull trend is ending and we are going into a short-term bear trend, which means we are likely to continue to head lower and start testing some of those lower support levels. Next up is the Nasdaq 100 QQQ ETF, and we see the Nasdaq 100 also had a very volatile day, and at one point we were trading below the 20 simple moving average. The good news for the Nasdaq 100 is that we did close above the 20 simple moving average. Any price action above the 20 simple moving average, especially in a bull market, is still bullish price action. We can see that we touched the 20 simple moving average in the past, and we saw that level act as support, and the market continued to head higher. So right now we're still at that 20 simple moving average where we can continue to find support, and the price action can bounce from here and we can start heading higher. We can see that the trend is still bullish, and that 5 EMA is still over the 13 EMA, and all of these moving averages are still stacked to the bull side. Now, if the selling continues for another day or two, the number one levels you need to watch for on the QQQ ETF is this $308 support level, and then of course this gap close down here at $302. If we close the gap and continue to head lower, it could mean that we're going to test the 50 EMA, which is down here right around $299. So just like I said with the S&P 500, is we still have bullish trending, and on the Nasdaq 100, we also have relatively bullish price action. So my price target on the QQQ ETF is still up here at $321, and I still think we're going to get to that price target with the current look at the technicals and the trending. It's likely we're going to continue to head higher after this selling is complete. Next up is the Dow Jones DIA ETF, and we see the Dow Jones also had some pretty good price action, closing back above that 20 simple moving average after a very volatile day. The trend is still bullish and the Dow Jones is likely to continue to head higher. So out of all of the three indices, the price action held up pretty well today considering all of the volatility, and the trending is still bullish. So therefore, we're still going to remain bullish on the market. Next up is the ARK ETF, and we see ARK coming down to our support level right around $125, and it does look like the price action is holding up around here in this range. We're still closing below that 20 simple moving average, and we can now see that the 5 EMA is getting ready to cross below the 13 EMA, which means the short-term bull trend is turning bearish. So while the ARK ETF did go up a little bit today, going up 0.16%, the price action and the trending are still looking towards the bearish side. So the ARK ETF would need to start bouncing from here to reverse some of these bearish signals we're getting. Otherwise, we're likely heading lower to close this gap at $117. We could also go right past that gap and touch the 50 EMA, which is down around $114. So there's still a lot of risk in the ARK ETFs, as I always keep saying, and these ETFs could come down a lot more before they start heading higher. Next up is the VIX, which is our fear indicator. And of course, we saw a lot of volatility, which means the VIX is likely spiking. And we did see the VIX go up over 18.5% today. The VIX blew right through our resistance level at 24.8 and it closed all the way up here at 27. We did have a similar volatile day before, going back to 1221, where the VIX came all the way up to our resistance trend line and did close above resistance. The next day, it gave it all back and closed below resistance and started to head lower. So we need to watch the VIX to see if we see any follow through with this volatility or if it was just a one-day sell-off. We are above resistance, so we need to see what happens tomorrow and see if we stay above resistance, see if this resistance possibly acts as support, and see if we can test this resistance trend line on the VIX. So right now, we can definitely see some volatility coming back to this market, and we're starting to get a look of some higher highs and some higher lows. So there's definitely some caution signs being flagged in the VIX, and we need to continue to watch the fear levels to see if this selling is going to turn into something bigger. Next up is the US dollar, and we still see bearish price action and bearish trending. A weak dollar should be a strong stock market, and it looks like the dollar is still going to head lower towards our $89 support level. You can see that the bearish trend is very strong, so I'm not expecting to see any reversal in the dollar until we see something change in the technical picture. The weak dollar should be strong gold, and we do see some very strong gold price action today, closing up above our price target at $19.30 and exceeding it. So that means we're raising our price target on gold, and we now need to watch this previous resistance level to act as possible support, because it is likely that gold will come back down and test this $19.30 level as support before it starts heading higher. So watch for that support level on gold at $19.30, and my price target on gold will now be up here at $19.98. You can go ahead and round that up to 2,000, and it is likely that gold is heading up there soon. So gold's looking really bullish. You can see a lot of really strong bullish price action, a lot of really strong bullish trending, and it looks like that 20 simple moving average is getting ready to cross above the 50 EMA, which is a very bullish sign. So there's no way you can look at this with higher highs and higher lows with bullish price action and trending and think anything other than bullish on gold. Next up is silver, and we also see silver blasting right through resistance at 26.56 and heading up here to the 27s. My price target on silver is up here at $29, and we could find some resistance at the 1.618 Fibonacci extension at $28 on the way. The new support level on silver will be down here at previous resistance, which is 26.56. So we'll go ahead and turn that to green, so that level could act as support on any attempt that we do get some selling. Next up is Bitcoin, and my price target on Bitcoin was raised up to $35,000, and it looks like we got very close to my price target, and then we started to see some selling. We still have bullish price action, we're still over the 5 EMA, and we still have a very strong bullish trend. So Bitcoin is down, but it's definitely not out just yet, and it could continue to head higher, and we could see a full test of my price target, which is just a little bit above $35,000. Now, Bitcoin is cooling off a little bit because we're seeing some selling, so it could continue to head higher. If you are trying to get into Bitcoin, you might want to start scaling in slowly on these dips, because it is possible that Bitcoin could go much higher next year. However, this is highly speculative, and if you're buying Bitcoin, you shouldn't be putting a lot of money on it. Keep it within 5 and 10% of your portfolio, because you really don't want to get too risky on something this speculative. Next up is Amazon stock, and we saw a huge bearish day on Amazon, going down over -2%, and we did close below the 20 simple moving average. However, there is some silver lining on Amazon, and we did find support at the 50 EMA, and we still have the benefit of bullish trending. So it's very possible that Amazon is going to bounce off of this level in a big way as soon as tomorrow. The big test for Amazon is going to be to see if it can bounce off of this 50 EMA and start heading back higher and maintain this bullish trending. So look for Amazon to retest the 3,300 level, and if we can break and close above 3,300, it means we're likely heading up here to 3,442. You can see that that resistance level acted as resistance in the past, so it is a relatively strong resistance level that Amazon is going to have to break and close above before we can raise our price target. Next up is Apple stock, and ever since Apple hit my price target at $136, we've seen a lot of selling and a lot of weakness. However, Apple is still closing above the 20 simple moving average, and it still has a really strong bullish trend. So it's way too soon to count Apple out, and I am expecting to see Apple come test this $136 level yet again. Very similar to Amazon, if Apple can break and close above this resistance, it means we're heading to our next price target up here at $141. So be patient on Apple and look to try to buy it off of these strong support levels, and you really want to try to buy it off of this 20 simple moving average as long as it can maintain and hold up as support. On the financial sector, we see the price action closing barely below the 5 EMA, and we still have some really strong bullish trending going on. On the industrial sector, we came all the way down to the 50 EMA before bouncing and finding support, and we are starting to see somewhat of a neutral trend. So we're still holding up over the 50 EMA, which is bullish, but we are seeing some weakness in the short-term trending. On the healthcare sector, we're still looking bullish, closing over that 5 EMA, and we still have bullish trending. So going back to the S&P 500, you can still see we have relatively bullish price action, and we still have the benefit of bullish trending. So it's way too soon to count this market out, and it's way too soon to call for a correction. One day of selling does not mean the market's going into a correction, so we just need to be patient, and we need to continue to watch these next couple of days to see what the price action and the trending are going to tell us. We're going to stay strictly objective right here on this channel, and we're going to let the price action and the trending do all of the talking. So right now, I'm still bullish on this market because I still see bullish price action and bullish trending. That's subject to change, and we're trading the chart that is in front of us. So right now, looking at today's price action and today's trending, I'm still bullish, and I'm still expecting to see these price targets get met before we see a stock market correction. It's very important when we see volatility that you have a cash position and you're being very disciplined with your trading and you're scaling into the market slowly. If you need help in this market, consider joining the Stocks Channel Discord community, where I'm helping traders become more disciplined and profitable. You can find out how to join by clicking on the link in the description of the video. So next up, let's take a look at the hot stocks. So our first hot stock of the night is of course going to be Tesla stock, and we do see Tesla following through with some bullish price action, closing up over 3.4%. We see Tesla getting a little extended today, and it actually got all the way up to my price target intraday at $745 before bouncing and closing lower for the day. We're now trading above the Bollinger Band, so it could be time for Tesla to cool off a little bit, but we still see some really bullish price action and bullish trending on this stock. Now, because I raised my price target on Tesla, and it does look like we're going to have no problem hitting that price target yet again, if we do start breaking and closing over our price target of $745, the next price target you want to start watching on Tesla stock is up here at $805. Like I said with Tesla stock, as long as it has bullish price action and bullish trending, I'm going to continue to raise my price target if it's breaking right through them with no problem. So being strictly objective, following the price action and following the trending, and I'm looking to see if Tesla can break over $745 and get to $805. If Tesla does start cooling off and it does look like this level becomes the top, you want to start looking for a breakdown in Tesla if the price action starts closing below the moving averages and we see that 5 EMA cross below the 13 EMA. But right now, it's fully bullish on Tesla, and I'm still expecting to see Tesla go back up to that price target and try to crack through and break and close above. Once again, congratulations to all of you crazy Tesla bulls. Next up is NIO stock, and we saw a huge bullish day on NIO today, going up over 9.7% in one trading day, which is absolutely insane. We do see NIO met my first price target at $52, and it closed above it with no problem at all. So the next target to watch for on NIO is going to be this resistance level somewhere around $55 on the way to my price target up here at $61. So I'm still really bullish on NIO stock, and we can see that it does have higher highs and higher lows, bullish price action, and really strong bullish trending. We can also see that 20 simple moving average is curling back up to the positive sloping side, which means we're gaining some bullish momentum on this stock. So I still fully think that NIO is a buy the dip stock, and it's likely going to continue to run going up into NIO day. You could see some sell the news scenarios after NIO day, but this stock is looking really good and really bullish, and I think it'll have no trouble getting through my price targets where I'm personally going to be taking a lot of profits myself. So congratulations as well to all of you NIO bulls. And if you remember, I first called NIO a buy back on these 2 days back here. So if you're paying attention, you're following along, you got a great entry on this stock and it's been running ever since. Next up is Palantir stock, and we still see Palantir heading down to my price target down here at $21. The reason I have Palantir heading lower is because we still have bearish trending and bearish price action. The price is still closing below the 5 EMA, and we can see that the trend is definitely bearish because the 5 EMA is below all of the other moving averages. So it's still likely we're going to see lower prices on Palantir, and we're going to continue to watch this stock. Support levels right now are $21 and the 50 EMA, which is at $20. Our next hot stock is TeleDoc, ticker symbol TDOC, and we see TeleDoc had a very volatile day at one point. It was trading below support, but we did close in the green, going up 0.34% on a market sell-off day, which really isn't all that bad, and we still have the benefit of bullish trending. So the resistance levels to watch on TDOC are $203. If we break above there, we're likely heading to our first price target at $214, and then our next price target is going to be all the way up here at $232. So TDOC's one of those hot stocks that you want to get into now while it's still low before it starts running, because once it starts running, it's going to be a great stock to own. Next up is Alibaba stock, and we do see Baba going down -2% today, and we did get a little bit of a gap down with not much price action today. It's still possible that Alibaba could come close this gap at $223 yet again before heading up to our price target at $255. I'm still very bullish on Alibaba, and I still think it's going to have no trouble getting to our price target at $255 in the near future. Next up is Boeing stock, and we see Boeing stock still cooling off, and we do have a little bit of bad news because Boeing is now closing below our support levels. We had support at 212 and then the 50 EMA, which is right around 205, and we did close below 203 on Boeing stock. However, normally when stocks get too oversold in these scenarios, they can bounce in a big way. So I'm still not ruling Boeing stock out, and it could still start bouncing as soon as tomorrow off of these levels. So we want to watch Boeing stock very carefully, and I'm interested to see if it could bounce off of this level and start forming a new daily higher high. Ever since we hit the high back here at 238, we've seen a lot of selling, and normally after we see a nice cool off and correction in a stock, we can get a really nice bull run. So I'm still keeping my price targets up here at $230, and then once we break and close above 230, my next price target will be $260 on Boeing. Just a reminder, I did start the $1,000 account challenge today, and I am posting all of my trades, entries, and exits on the stock channel Discord. So if you want to follow along on the challenge, or you want to just be a part of the community and follow our hot stocks, consider joining the stocks channel Discord community, which you can find out how to join by clicking on the link in the description of this video. Don't forget, the market could be very volatile, so be disciplined. Don't be scared to take your profits and lock them in, and have a cash position so that you can buy the dip. This is going to be a great trading year, and we're going to crush this market. So thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.